Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Saturday, September 17th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. Tirana's prosecution has officially launched an investigation into yesterday's death of a pregnant woman and her baby. The state police have given all the documents against 2 doctors and a nurse to the prosecution. Investigators hope to discover the cause of the sad event at Tirana's maternity hospital and reveal if the reasons the woman and her baby died were due to complications or negligence by the 3 hospitals she was sent to. Along with the prosecution's investigation, the case will also be reviewed by the Doctors Association. The Minister of Health commented for the first time today regarding the event, denying the doctor's negligence and declared that the case should be carefully treated until there is a conclusion to the investigation. The Ministry of Health has reviewed the sad event. We found that the doctors were at work. The ambulance had the necessary equipment and medicines. The patient had a hemorrhage in her spleen, which is a rare case. We should wait for the investigation results and should not come to hasty conclusions, declared the Minister of Health. The preliminary data from the coroner's office and the doctors all say that the hemorrhage in the spleen was the cause of death. 5 Democrat MPs visited the area where the Italian plane crashed 2 days ago. The Democrat MPs and journalists visited the makeshift runway where planes could land. In a telephone conversation, the Democrat MP, Eddie Palocca, said that it looked to have taken about a month to adopt the land into a runway. According to the Democrat MP, the infrastructure of the runway is much better than the road that takes one to the village. Also, the Democrat MP from Mornoka, who first publicized the news about the plane crash, declared, "I received information about the plane from police officers who do not trust the government. There are similar runways in Jadar and Gjirokastër." The Democrats reiterated their conviction that the plane was meant to transport drugs and accused high-ranking state officials of being connected to drug traffickers. The Democratic Party leader, Lozan Basha, commented today on the drug situation in Albania, which he feels has deteriorated and is destroying society. In a posting on his Facebook social account, the DP chairman said that murders and confrontations which are related to drug trafficking have recently increased. A 31-year-old man was executed a few days ago in the north by his relatives. The motive? Conflicts over cannabis. He is the 5th victim in the last few months. Drugs and narco-trafficking destroy society and the economy. This is what happened around the world, and it is also what's happening in Albania. Drugs are killing even within families. Drugs are destroying natural resources. Drugs are making people criminals. The police and the government are controlled by drug traffickers and are at their service. Drugs are destroying the political process, as what happened in Dibra. Edi Rama has given the Albanian people 2 alternatives: to serve the criminals or to leave the country. Edi Rama is on the criminal side. He has given them freedom and power to make Albania a criminal's asset. Under these conditions, we should be all united against crime and stop the country's destruction. Albania will be destroyed if we leave it in criminal hands. Albania does not have a future with Edi Rama. Albania will be better without Edi Rama, Basha declared. During a visit to the Albanian Alps, Prime Minister Edi Rama inspected the construction that connects Tamara with Vermosh, preferred tourist destinations in the northern edges of the country. He closely followed the protection of 11 hectares of land from the Drini River. The Prime Minister declared that the investments will boost tourism and national economy, saying, "Investments in this area help us to continue with the project of tourism development in this area. We have seen that the number of tourists has recently increased, driven by the interventions that we have been making. Though the road to Tamara is finished, the road to Vermosh, a very attractive destination on the northern edge, continues to be problematic." The director of the Albanian Development Fund gave assurances that the road will be reconstructed soon. During his visit, the Prime Minister also stopped at Vau-e-Deis area, visiting with the Democrat mayor. After listening to the mayor's concerns, the Prime Minister promised support and investments for the area. The government will support investments in infrastructure. You should present good projects and we will approve them, said the Prime Minister to the mayor. The project for reconstructing the Vau Ideas Center is the first and the most important one for this city. Construction will start within a short period of time. Tirana's mayor, together with the Socialist Party MP Vasilika Husi, inspected the urban redevelopment project for Administrative Unit 7 at the customs area in Tirana, which includes a residential block of 34 hectares and affects 35 road segments. Mayor Villiers praised the high standard of work, while the SP-MP said she felt good that the municipality is taking care of areas where investments have not been made for 25 years. After inspecting the work, Mayor Villiers thanked the residents for their cooperation and said that the project holds the high standards he expects. I want to thank the 90% of citizens who have graciously accepted the project without causing delays. I'm hopeful that the other 10% will be convinced because they are the main beneficiaries of the project. They will have high standard roads. I am convinced that we will have completed this investment for 35 road segments within a year. 6,000 inhabitants of Administrative Unit 7 will benefit from this investment, declared the mayor. The mayor appealed to the citizens to pay their city hall taxes and contribute to the urbanization of its neighborhoods. I call on the citizens to pay their taxes because with this money we will reconstruct other neighborhoods that need urbanization. I am hopeful that we will finish reconstructing this area before the new year, added the mayor. The Socialist MP, Husi, who accompanied the mayor during the inspection, shared her appreciation of the fact that the municipality of Tirana has turned attention to areas that have been previously forgotten and had never received any investments. This is an area where no investments have been made for 25 years. There were problems with sanitation, drinking water, and sewage. There were problems with street lights. We have held meetings with the citizens and they are very satisfied that the water, municipality, companies, and other agencies are working together, declared the SP-MP. Besides road infrastructure works and underground rehabilitation, the project in this area also provides the construction of new streetlights in all squares and establishes horizontal and vertical road signs. Lejah's Education Directory is asking parents of needy families to take their children to public kindergarten and schools. During a meeting with representatives from schools and kindergarteners, the director of Lejah's Regional Education Directory declared that parents who do not take their children to kindergartens and elementary schools will be penalized, as elementary education is obligatory. The director said that this is a child's right to be educated and it is the parent's obligation to take them to school. He asked all school representatives to identify children who do not attend school. It's the right of every child to go to school. A child's education from kindergarten until 9th grade is obligatory. Parents should be aware that they will be fined if they do not take their children to school, despite their economic situation, declared the director. During his meeting with educational institution representatives, the director asked all of Lejah's schools to monitor the children's attendance frequency and also asked for a detailed report of the situation. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.